Nikon's roadmap for 2026 signals a strategic offensive across every segment of the camera market, from revolutionary flagships to democratized entry points. This ambitious slate of upcoming releases presents a critical question. Can the company successfully balance technological innovation with coherent product segmentation? With models threatening to overlap in capabilities like Nikon Z8 II, Z7 III, or Z6 IV, the challenge will be to clearly define each camera's purpose, ensuring they complement rather than cannibalize each other in a highly competitive landscape. Let's get right into it. The development trajectory of the Nikon Z6 IV suggests a significant repositioning of Nikon's core hybrid camera, moving it into a higher resolution category that challenges traditional segmentation. Industry speculation strongly indicates that this model will be equipped with a newly developed 61-megapixel full-frame sensor, representing a substantial leap from the 24-megapixel count of its predecessor. This strategic shift is clearly aimed at attracting landscape, architectural, and commercial studio photographers who demand extreme detail and extensive cropping flexibility in their work. To justify its anticipated price point of $2,700 to $3,000, the Z6 IV will need to bolster its video capabilities substantially, likely incorporating full-sensor 4K recording at 60 frames per second and a cropped 4K 120 frames per second mode for high-quality slow-motion capture. The camera will undoubtedly retain and enhance its hybrid functionality, featuring advanced video assist tools like waveform monitors and robust autofocus tracking inherited from higher-end models. However, this new direction creates a potential conflict within Nikon's own lineup, placing the Z6 IV's resolution squarely in the territory traditionally reserved for the Z7 series, necessitating clear differentiation through other means such as burst shooting speed, buffer depth, or specific video codecs. The Nikon Z9 II is positioned not merely as an incremental update, but as a monumental technological leap intended to solidify Nikon's claim to the absolute pinnacle of hybrid camera performance. The most anticipated and revolutionary feature is the strong possibility of a global shutter sensor, a technology that captures the entire image simultaneously to completely eliminate rolling shutter distortion. A perennial challenge with fast-moving subjects, this groundbreaking sensor will be complemented by staggering performance specifications, including continuous RAW shooting at 40 frames per second and even higher speeds for JPEG capture, ensuring professionals never miss a decisive moment. The confirmed inclusion of pre-capture RAW functionality addresses a notable omission from the original Z9, allowing the camera to buffer images before the shutter is fully pressed. Powering these features will be Nikon's next-generation Xpeed 8 processor, which will also enable robust 8K video recording with improved heat dissipation management. This concentration of cutting-edge technology will command a premium price, expected to approach $6,500, firmly establishing the Z9 II as an indispensable tool for elite sports, wildlife, and event photographers, whose livelihoods depend on absolute reliability and uncompromising performance. The Nikon Z8 II is conceived as a comprehensive refinement of the highly acclaimed Mini Z9 concept, directly addressing the few limitations noted in the original model while enhancing its core strengths. The primary focus of this evolution will be on video capabilities and thermal management, with reliable rumors suggesting the camera will achieve internal 8K 60p video recording and effectively unlimited recording times, likely through advanced cooling solutions derived from technology acquired through Nikon's purchase of Red Digital Cinema. For still photography, the camera is expected to push raw continuous shooting speeds to an impressive 30 frames per second and introduce a sophisticated pre-burst mode, virtually guaranteeing that photographers capture the exact decisive moment they seek. The beloved form factor will be retained, but refined with ergonomic improvements such as a deeper grip for more secure handling with large telephoto lenses and a higher resolution electronic viewfinder for a more immersive shooting experience. Positioned at an estimated $4,500, the Z8 II will continue to offer a compelling alternative to the flagship, delivering nearly identical performance in a more compact and manageable body, thereby solidifying its status as the ultimate high-end all-rounder for demanding professionals and advanced enthusiasts. The Nikon Z30 II represents a strategic and focused effort to capture a dominant share of the entry-level vlogging and content creation market by directly addressing the shortcomings of its predecessor. This model is expected to receive a significant processing upgrade to the X-Speed 7 engine, which will empower it with 4K 60 frames per second video recording, and most crucially, a vastly extended recording limit, potentially reaching 125 minutes. This enhancement specifically tackles the most significant criticism aimed at the original Z30. The feature set will be further augmented with capabilities tailored for modern creators, including real-time 60 frames per second streaming for platforms like YouTube and Twitch, 10-bit video output via HDMI for greater color grading flexibility, and a more advanced autofocus system capable of reliably tracking multiple subject types. Nikon will maintain the core philosophy of this line: a compact, lightweight body with a fully articulating touchscreen, a redesigned tally lamp for clear recording status, and a built-in microphone jack, all while intentionally omitting an electronic viewfinder to control costs and maintain focus on its video-centric audience. The long-awaited Nikon Z7 III will be meticulously crafted to serve as the specialist tool, catering exclusively to photographers who prioritize resolution, dynamic range, and optical precision above all other considerations. It is expected to feature a newly developed 45.7 megapixel stacked sensor, retaining the resolution sweet spot of its predecessor while gaining the processing speed and responsiveness required for modern high-end photography. This sensor architecture will significantly reduce rolling shutter effects and enable a more reliable, faster autofocus system, complete with advanced subject recognition algorithms for humans, animals, and vehicles. A key differentiator likely to be leveraged is the retention of a mechanical shutter, a feature absent in the Z8 and Z9, which remains highly prized by studio and commercial photographers for its flawless flash synchronization capabilities and optimal dynamic range performance. While Nikon Z7 III will offer competent video features like internal 10-bit color and 6K recording, its core identity will remain unapologetically rooted in stills photography. With an anticipated price between $3,000 and $3,300, the Z7 III will need to convincingly compete against established rivals like the Sony A7RV by offering superior build quality, refined ergonomics, and a feature set tailored for the discerning landscape and studio professional. The Nikon Z9H is conceived as a highly specialized instrument, purpose-built for a specific niche, capturing high-speed action with absolute precision and zero distortion. It will likely eschew the industry trend towards higher resolution in favor of blistering speed. Centered around a 20.4 megapixel global shutter sensor with an astonishing readout speed of just 0.4 milliseconds. This groundbreaking technology will completely eradicate any form of rolling shutter artifact and allow for flash synchronization at unprecedented speeds up to 1/20,000th of a second, unlocking new creative possibilities for sports and action photographers working with artificial lighting. The camera will be driven by dual X-Speed 7 processors, ensuring flawless handling of the immense data flow generated by its extreme speed capabilities. The body design is expected to be slightly more compact and agile than the monolithic Z9, but will feature a redesigned control layout with additional custom dials and specialized ports optimized for rapid operation in demanding environments. The Z9H will not function as a general-purpose flagship, but will instead serve as a complementary tool for professionals who require its unique and unparalleled capabilities for specific shooting scenarios. The Nikon ZF II will endeavor to refine the critically acclaimed formula of merging classic retro aesthetics with thoroughly modern performance, creating a camera that appeals as much to the heart as to the technical sensibilities. It is anticipated to inherit the core internals of the Z6 III, including the 24.5 megapixel, partially stacked CMOS sensor, which will provide it with vastly improved readout speeds, significantly reduced rolling shutter for video, and a more responsive overall feel. The major upgrade will likely be the inclusion of the next-generation Xpeed 8 processor, empowering it with enhanced video capabilities such as 6K 60p and 4K 120p aux recording, effectively transforming it into a potent hybrid tool for content creators. Its autofocus system will also see substantial gains, potentially adding specialized modes like avian subject detection to appeal to wildlife enthusiasts. The primary design challenge will be to seamlessly integrate these advanced features while preserving the classic tactile control scheme, with dedicated dials for shutter speed, ISO, and exposure compensation. That defines the ZF's nostalgic charm and user experience. The Nikon Z90 is poised to finally answer the long-standing and vocal demand from enthusiasts and professionals for a true flagship APS-C camera, a spiritual successor to the legendary D500 DSLR. It is expected to be a high-performance DX model built around a new 33-megapixel sensor, capable of sustained burst rates of 15 to 20 frames per second, with a deep buffer for extended shooting sequences. A landmark feature for Nikon's crop sensor lineup will be the introduction of sophisticated in-body image stabilization, providing crucial stability for handheld shooting in low light and for smooth video recording. This camera is explicitly designed for wildlife and sports photographers who require maximum reach from their lenses without the size, weight, and cost associated with a full-frame system and its corresponding super telephoto lenses. Its success, however, is intrinsically linked to Nikon's commitment to expanding its often overlooked native DX lens ecosystem. Priced between $1,500 and $2,000, it will need to directly and effectively compete with established rivals like the Canon R7 by offering superior build quality, ergonomics, and seamless integration for existing Nikon users. Nikon Z4. The Nikon Z4 could represent the company's most disruptive product launch, a bold attempt to democratize full-frame photography by employing an aggressively minimalist design to drastically reduce cost. The strategy will hinge on using a proven and reliable 24-megapixel sensor while removing expensive components like an electronic viewfinder and potentially in-body image stabilization. This focused approach is engineered to achieve an unprecedented price point between $900 and $1,200, making it one of the most affordable new full-frame cameras ever released by a major manufacturer. It will retain the critical Z mount for full lens compatibility and offer capable 4K video recording, positioning it as the perfect gateway for smartphone users or entry-level photographers seeking the tangible benefits of a larger sensor, such as superior low-light performance and dynamic range, without the traditional financial barrier. The Nikon Z80 is rumored to be the baby Z80, a high-performance APS-C camera that leverages technology from Nikon's flagship to create an incredibly capable and portable tool for travel and wildlife. It is expected to feature the same Xpeed 7 processor found in the Z8 and Z9, granting it exceptional autofocus performance, high-speed shooting, and powerful image processing. A key innovation will be the incorporation of Nikon's hybrid VR image stabilization system, a significant step up for the DX lineup that combines sensor shift and electronic stabilization for maximum effectiveness. With a speculated newly developed sensor in the 26 to 32 megapixel range, it will offer a compelling blend of resolution and speed. This camera is designed for photographers who need a lightweight second body or a primary body that offers extensive reach without the bulk, effectively turning a 400mm lens into a 600mm equivalent. Priced around $1,200 to $1,500, it will sit in a crucial spot above consumer models but below full frame, appealing to enthusiasts who refuse to compromise on performance. For a long time, the story around Nikon felt like a sad song on repeat. They were the old king, the legend from the days of film and big, clunky DSLRs. But the world had moved on to mirrorless cameras, and it seemed like Nikon was stuck in the past. Even the conversation online in forums and comment sections was pretty brutal. People said they were slow, their new cameras couldn't focus properly, that they were a dinosaur waiting for the asteroid to hit. The two new giants, Sony and Canon, were eating their market share, and everyone was watching it happen. Then something changed. It wasn't a loud, screaming revolution, it was a quiet, steady comeback. It started with the numbers. In the world of camera sales, there's a ranking called the BCN Awards. It's like a report card based on what people are actually buying in stores. And recently, Nikon's grades shot up. Out of nowhere, they grabbed the #1 spot for monthly sales of full-frame mirrorless cameras in Japan. They beat Sony and Canon for the first time in over a decade. How? It wasn't their most expensive, fanciest camera that did it. It was their new, more affordable one. The analysts called it simply good value. It was a camera that offered a ton of great features for a price that didn't make your wallet cry. People looked at it, compared it to the competition, and thought, yeah, that makes sense. It was a practical win, a smart win, but numbers only tell part of the story. The real change happened in how people felt. Online, the noise began to shift. The endless brand wars where people fight over Canon versus Nikon versus Sony like it's a sports team used to be a place where Nikon fans were on the defensive. Now they had something to be excited about. First, they released a camera with a super retro, beautiful design. It wasn't just a black box, it was a thing you wanted to hold. It actually started pulling fans from other brands who loved that classic feel. Then they dropped their flagship cameras. And these weren't just good, they were absolute monsters. They fixed everything people complained about. The autofocus became incredible, the speed was insane. They were so powerful that they forced all the reviewers and the critics to shut up and pay attention. The conversation literally changed overnight from Nikon is behind to wow, Nikon is finally here. Of course, you still get the haters. You'll always have that one guy who just bought a beginner camera from another brand who tells you with total confidence that your camera is trash. But that says more about him than it does about the gear. That's just tribal nonsense, like arguing that your favorite soda is objectively the best one in the world. It's not about facts, it's about feeling good about your own choice. And that's the biggest truth that gets lost in all the yelling. The camera truly doesn't matter that much anymore. We've reached a point where it's almost impossible to buy a bad camera from a major brand. Nikon, Canon, Sony, Fuji, they all make fantastic tools. The differences between them are tiny. We're talking about slight differences in how a menu is organized or how a button feels. Any modern camera is more than powerful enough to take a world-class photograph. The gear hasn't been the limiting factor for years, the person holding it is. So, what is the current state of Nikon? It's strong, it's confident again. They stopped trying to be everything for everyone and just started building really good tools again. They played the long game, they took their punches, learned from their mistakes, and focused on what they're good at. Making cameras that feel great in your hand and lenses that are crystal clear. They aren't the biggest kid on the block anymore, and that's okay. They don't need to be. They just needed to be back in the game, making cameras that people get excited to use. And they are. They're the underdog that's no longer getting kicked around. They're respected. They're competing. And for a lot of photographers, that's all that ever mattered. The rest is just background noise. Outro Nikon's upcoming mirrorless roadmap highlights a bold mix of high-end innovation and strategic entry-level positioning. The Z6 IV marks a major leap with a rumored 61-megapixel sensor, aiming at detail-driven professionals while blurring lines with the Z7 series. At the top, the Z9 II could introduce a global shutter, 40 frames per second raw shooting, and 8K video, cementing its place as Nikon's flagship at around $6,500. Complementing it, the Z8 II refines the Mini Z9 with unlimited 8K 60p recording, advanced cooling, and 30 FPS stills at a more compact $4,500 price. Specialized models include the Z9H, a speed-focused 20-megapixel global shutter camera for sports, CI action, and the Z7 III, a high-resolution 45.7 megapixel stacked sensor body retaining a mechanical shutter for studio precision. The ZF II blends retro design with modern power, offering 6K video and advanced autofocus. On the APS-C side, Nikon prepares the long-awaited Z90, a true flagship DX successor to the D500 with IBIS and 15 to 20 frames per second bursts, alongside the lighter Z80, a travel-friendly baby Z8 with advanced stabilization. At the entry level, the Z30 II improves vlogging usability with long recording times, while the Z4 aims to democratize full frame with a minimalist, sub-$1,200 design. Nikon's 2026 roadmap is arguably its most ambitious yet, showcasing a two-pronged strategy of no-compromise innovation and aggressive accessibility. The lineup suggests a company confident in its technology, from the game-changing global shutter in the Z9 II to the market-disrupting affordability of the Z4. The true test will be in its execution, clearly differentiating each model to avoid cannibalization and, crucially, supporting its APS-C ambitions with a stronger lens ecosystem. If successful, this comprehensive strategy could solidify Nikon's position for years to come, offering a compelling camera for every creator, from the beginner to the professional. So, which one are you most excited for? Share with us in the comments below. Subscribe for more content like this, and as always, thanks for watching.